Hi guys, for today's video I'm going to be sharing with you baby products I regret buying. I feel like when you have a new baby, there are just so many products you're bombarded with, things you think you need, and there are a lot of things that I think either aren't worth the money, aren't very functional, or you just don't need, and I want to share that with you guys. My baby girl is 7 months old, so I just can't believe she's that big, but I have a little bit of experience as a mama, not a ton, but these are the products that I feel like I wish I wouldn't have bought, I didn't find useful, or I think they're a waste of money, and I want to share them with you. Now I want to preface this video with every baby is so different, their temperament, what they like, their personality, so your baby could love everything I say, your baby could hate everything I say, or somewhere in between. So I just want to say that this is, you know, take it with a grain of salt because every baby's different. But I want to share with you guys the products that I think were a waste of money, or things that I just don't think you need, or product regrets that I personally have. I'm going to be referencing my list because I wrote them down, and we're just going to get started. So the first thing that I regret buying is a fancy, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing bassinet. Now, I will insert a picture of our gorgeous bassinet. It is amazingly beautiful, and it's just the sweetest looking thing, but something about bassinets, typically the mattress in them is like cardboard. It is so uncomfortable, and it's just not, it's not comfy for your baby. So I wasn't even gonna buy her a bassinet because I was like, it's so temporary, I can just put her in the crib right away. But then I saw this beautiful bassinet and I was like, I need this for my baby girl. Let me tell you what happened and why I regret this purchase. This was expensive. Yes, it's beautiful, but it is not worth spending all that money just for a picture or just because it's pretty if it's not functional. I feel like as a first-time mom, you buy a lot of beautiful things, and then after having those things, you're like, give me the ugly thing that works, that they love, opposed to something beautiful they don't use. Just give me what works. So this is what happened. She was sleeping in the bassinet, and she slept fine. She actually slept amazing as a newborn, but she would never, if you just like laid her in there, she's not gonna just fall asleep. Like, it was not that comfy to her. One day I put her in her crib because I needed to run to the bathroom or something. I came back and she was zonked out for 2 hours in her crib. And I was like, does she like her crib? And I tried it. Let me tell you, this was a different baby. She loved the crib. And then I thought about it, I'm like, we have the Newton baby mattress. It's like a cloud compared to a cardboard piece in a bassinet. She slept amazing, she loved it. We just put her in the crib. We brought the crib into our room, and that's what she slept in after like 1 month. So I personally, next baby, I'm just gonna put them in the crib right away. Next to our bed, we have the Newton mattress. So I think you can skip the bassinet. Everybody's different, but I definitely regret that expensive purchase because my baby just preferred the crib, and we never would have needed to buy that. Next, an expensive bouncer. Now I do want to preface this because I actually put the Baby Bjorn bouncer in my newborn essentials, and I want to say I do think you need a bouncer or a couple of bouncers, and I like that bouncer. There's nothing wrong with it, it's awesome, but my baby likes the ugly Target one with like the toys across, and it's like patterned and red and black and white because those are the colors they like. That's the one she liked. It was like 30 bucks and she loved it. She preferred it over the Baby Bjorn bouncer, which is like, I don't know, 70 or 80 or something like that. Now it's a wonderful bouncer, it's great, but she liked the cheap one better. So I'm like, you don't need to buy the most beautiful, expensive items because babies just like what they like. So my baby really liked just the cheap $30 Target one. So I do regret, it's not even that I regret it because she still used the Baby Bjorn one, but I'm like, I'm just realizing you don't need to buy all of the like trendy, pretty things because other things work that are a lot cheaper and they might prefer them as well. The next thing is an expensive high chair. I bought this beautiful high chair and I like it because it's high quality feeling, it's pretty, but it is so big, like wide, that she just like falls to the side, and if you strap her in, the tray is so far away from her and you can't put it closer to her that we have to buy her a new high chair because it doesn't work, it's too big. And I'm like, you know what, I wish I would have just bought a cheap functional high chair, one that she can sit up, be supported, have the tray close to her. Everyone says like the $20 IKEA one. I think I really got caught up in wanting everything to be beautiful and match the house, and just get them something that works. That is my opinion. And in my defense, I did see a lot of good reviews on this high chair and I did think it was gonna be a good purchase. It's not, so I don't think you need to go above and beyond in price for pretty things when it's like, you don't have to buy an ugly high chair, but it doesn't have to be a $300 high chair. You can buy a $20 one from IKEA and it'll work just fine. The next one, a ton of binkies. Now this is why I will preface this. I bought my baby girl the, what are those ones? Gosh, I'll insert a picture. I don't remember the brand. Ryan and Rose or Itsy Ritzy or something. And then all of the bibs ones, like pink and white and beautiful and so cute. She likes the Advent, I don't know, the blue ones. They come in pink and purple now too. Those are the ones she likes. She will not use the cute ones. She doesn't like them. And so I have like 10, 15, I don't know. I got them as gifts. I bought them. All these cute binkies that she won't touch. So I just feel like don't buy a ton of something until you know what your baby's gonna like. Like along with this, I have a ton of bottles. Ton of bottles. I probably have 12 bottles. She has probably taken a bottle less than 10 times in her 7 months of life because I exclusively breastfeed and then I pump my breast milk and people can give her a bottle. But so rarely does she use a bottle. We probably could have used 1 or 2 bottles and I have so many. So I just think you don't need to stock up on so much of something until you know what's gonna happen, until you know. And yes, when she's older, she'll use bottles, but I don't think we need 12. You know what I mean? And she doesn't, I did end up buying her a lot of binkies, but of the ones she likes. So now I have all these binkies she never uses. So it's just, hindsight is 20/20, and I just think you don't need, you shouldn't buy all these things until you know what your baby's gonna like. Going along with bottles is a bottle warmer. I have the Philips Avent bottle warmer, and honestly, it just doesn't work great, and maybe other bottle warmers are better, but I think it's so much easier to just take a bowl of hot water and put the bottle in it. It's like, we have a warmer, and I choose to do a bowl of warm water over the actual warmer because it either makes it not hot enough or it makes it piping hot and it takes a lot longer. I feel like it's an extra step, an extra gadget that doesn't work that well, and I love just putting it in a little bowl of warm water. Plus, we don't use bottles a ton, so it just is an extra thing that we don't use that much. The next thing is a wipe warmer, and I'll tell you why. We actually didn't use a wipe warmer for quite some time, for probably a month or 2, and then we're like, you know what, that would just be nice. Like, my daughter was fine with regular temperatured wipes, but we're like, oh, that could be nice for her to just have warm wipes. But let me tell you why I didn't like it. She peed whenever we would wipe her because they were all warm, so we would be in the middle of changing her and she would pee all over, and then it would be up on the changing pad and up on her back, and then we'd have to give her a bath. And when we stopped using the wipe warmer, that stopped. So every baby's different. I don't know if your baby would do that, but that wipe warmer just made her pee every time we used a warm wipe, and she was fine using regular temperatured wipes. So that is something I say pass. And also, it's just another extra thing, and I mean, I don't know, I just found that it created more of a hassle, and she was fine with regular wipes. So I'd say pass on that. Another thing I would recommend is putting your money towards a stroller system, car seat, all that. We went the route of buying like we got a deal from a friend on a stroller and a car seat, and it was great. It worked awesome. But the car seat was so heavy. Like, I liked it as a car seat, but it was so heavy that it was so hard for me to lug around. I could barely, like, once she gained weight and wasn't like a brand newborn, having to put it in the car and like swing it up over the seat and all those things and carry it from a parking lot into the doctor's office or wherever, it was so heavy it wasn't functional for me. And so we ended up getting the Nuna Pippa Light, which is like the lightest one you can find, and I love their stroller. We got the, what did we get? I'll link whatever one below that we have. I can't remember which one we got, but I love the Nuna travel system. And we wanted that one from the start, but I was like, it's so expensive. Let's, you know, save where we can, get this one from a friend, and it worked, but it wasn't the one that we initially wanted. And I wanted a lighter one because I'm not the strongest person, and I would say if you're gonna put your money into baby items, put it into your car seat and your stroller, because that is what you're gonna use all the time. And I regret not just getting that off the bat, because then we ended up buying 2 car seats and 2 strollers when we could have just put our money towards the one we wanted in the first place. So if anything, that's what I would say, put your money towards, because now we bought double for the one we wanted in the first place. Stocking up on one brand of diapers is something that I regret doing. We got the Pampers Pure diapers, and we had boxes and boxes of different sizes loaded up, and they didn't work well for my daughter. The way that the dimensions of like the leg to the waistband was too short for her body. And so it would be like, they would, it's hard to explain. They would have such a little amount of room between those two, but then they'd have all this extra diaper like in between her legs. So it was like, it needed to go up higher on her belly and have less hanging below, but the dimensions were just weird for her, and it didn't work well on her body type. And Huggies is amazing. It fits her so well. They're so soft, high quality. It works really well for her. So we ended up being able to return some of the boxes. We gave some to family. But I would just say, again, don't stock up on so much of one brand of something, whether it's binkies, whether it's diapers, like whatever it may be, because you don't know how your baby is going to react. Like if their skin doesn't like a certain ingredient, a lot of babies, I guess, can have, you know, reactions to certain diapers. You're just not gonna know till your baby's here. And I regretted stocking up all these boxes, because then they didn't work for her, and we had all these boxes of expensive diapers. So that's one thing I would say, is just don't stock up too far in advance with stuff until you see how your baby is and what works for them. Along with that is buying clothing too far in advance, because again, you're not gonna know what size they are for sure. So like, I bought her this cute little summer outfit. It's from Burt's Bees. It was so cute. And I bought it in 3 to 6 months, and it was way too big for her in the warm weather. And now it would probably fit her, but it's winter now. And so by the time she could wear it, it's gonna be too small. And so if you try to buy things, like, I'm not saying only buy for the size they are right now, but it's just hard to predict what size they're gonna be at each season. And there's been quite a few things that she kind of missed the season with her sizing. And then you're sad because you're like, oh, I loved that outfit and they never got to wear that. So I would just say, you can totally buy different sizes, but maybe don't buy your favorite thing in a size you're predicting, because you can't, it's hard to know what size they're gonna be. The last 2 things have to do with breastfeeding, and the first one is the My Breast Friend pillow. Now there are mixed opinions on this. The reason I got the My Breast Friend pillow is because I heard a lot of people say it's less pretty than the Boppy, but it works way better. It's way more functional, it's way more supportive, and it works way better with breastfeeding. So I got that one. I hate that pillow, and let me tell you why. It was very stiff and kind of awkward to put on. It just doesn't feel that comfortable. But the reason that I don't like it is because it's memory foam with the case that's not waterproof. So my daughter had a blowout on it, and it was ruined because you can't wash the memory foam. It says pat to clean. Well, the blowout had soaked into the pillow and it's ruined. That was $40 that's just gone. So I really disliked that pillow because I was like, what's the point? A newborn has one blowout and it's ruined. So I got the Boppy. I thought it was way more supportive, way more comfortable. You can throw the whole pillow in the wash. They sell a waterproof cover that I would put on that, and I would toss that in the wash all the time if there was milk all over it or if she had a blowout or whatever happened. And then you can use it as a support pillow for them when they're learning to sit up. It has multiple uses, and I want to make it clear I'm talking about the Boppy breastfeeding pillow, not the newborn lounger, which has been recalled. So I'm talking about the Boppy breastfeeding pillow. I prefer that so much over the My Breast Friend one. I feel like if it is a baby item that is cloth or whatever, it needs to be washable or waterproof, because if they have a blowout and it's ruined, what's the point, you know? So I really disliked that. And then the last thing that I will say is the LV hands-free breastfeeding, or not breastfeeding, pump, breast pump. That thing is so expensive, and I was like, okay, I am gonna buy this because my daughter is very active. She is always climbing, crawling. She's been crawling since she was 5.5 months old. She is 7 months old and she is almost walking. She climbs on everything. She never stops moving. Like, I mean, never stops moving. So I can't just sit plugged into the wall and pump. I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. So I bought the LV, which we bought one piece. If you buy both, it's like over $500, I think. We bought one so I could put it on one boob and then switch and pour the milk out, and that way it's half the price to try it out. Because I was like, if it's amazing, I'll buy both so I can do it at the same time. But it's like $270 instead of $500, so let's try it out. I liked the idea of being able to pump while she was playing, or just whatever. You can pump anytime. You stick it in your bra and it's cordless and it just automatically goes. And I was like, this is amazing. I can do this. I can make sure my milk supply stays up because I could pump literally any time. And it was amazing in theory, but it was terrible for me. I do not recommend that pump whatsoever. So to give you guys like an idea, let's say in a pumping session, I pump 5 ounces, let's say. With the LV, I pumped an ounce or less. And I remember I put the LV on and I pumped for like 25 minutes and I had half an ounce in the thing. And then I was like, is my milk supply just done? Like what's going on? And I put my regular Spectra plug-in pump that I've used forever on, and I pumped 2 ounces in like 30 seconds. So I was like, okay, so I got less than an ounce in 25 minutes with this LV on. I plug in and in 30 seconds, I have 2 ounces. It was like it couldn't express any milk. And I was just like, what? So I tried it multiple times. I measured, if you're gonna say like, was it the wrong size? I measured, I had the correct flange size. I had everything positioned correctly. I had this thing on definitely correctly. And I would make it would express almost no milk after 25 minutes. And I would pump for 5-10 minutes with my Spectra and I would have 5-7 ounces, whatever it was. So for me, I was like, there isn't any point in spending this much time pumping to get no output and to spend this much money. Like, yes, it's nice in theory, but it didn't work. So that is one thing, was a huge regret. Thank goodness we could return that and get our money back, because that is expensive. Now, there are people who like it, so I'm not saying it's a horrible product, but for me, it did not work, and I love my Spectra, which is also covered by my insurance. So now I just pump if I want to pump to have extra milk or whatever it is. I just pump while she's napping, or when she goes to bed is typically when I pump, and it works out fine. So I personally didn't find it useful. It was a really big product regret. I'm so thankful we could return it, because if you're not getting the output, the convenience really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So that's everything for my baby product regrets. I hope this didn't sound too negative. Those are the things that I found not super helpful, or things that I would have done differently. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Again, every baby is so different. So these products your baby might love, or they might be like my baby and not love them. But those are the things that I wish I would have done differently or not purchased, and that I will do differently next time. But that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram. It's just rachelfreeby_. I would love to have you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.